There's no way of knowing if Doris will confide in me, but I can speak to her at least.
The stew's awful.
Have you tried Molly's lemon tarts? I've never had anything so delicious.
Canva lost.
Miss, can we read Miss Editor's story for our lesson today?
What a wonderful idea, Jocelyn. Let's do just that.
With Canva in the hands of Akashic.
Ah, Sid.
Don't tell me. You need more Bob.
Oh no. I'm working on bringing another one of the Chief's designs to life. It's got a reverberatory hood over the top for additional thermal amplification and a system that, let's just say it gets very blimmin' hot. A heck of a lot hotter than anything Blackthorn's got in his only mithril engines get hotter. And you can't chuck ore in one of them and get metal out the other. Trouble is, we won't be able to make out of any old rubbish neither. And I hear you once helped Helena get her hands on exactly that.
If it's for the good of the hideaway, I'd be...
Oh, it is.
So, what exactly...
We've got a couple of examples here. Spherical echo.
More fallen materials. So this smelter is similar to the mithril engine in more ways than one.
That's right. They're a bit like the thermal helms. Fallen ceramic, what's more, they're directional, transferring heat from the inside to the outside. But these things, they're all out. We've collected as many as we can, and I know where we can get the rest. Trouble is, they're all watched over.
So you want me to visit some ruins, destroy some echoes, and bring back the spheres they're guarding?
That's it in a nutshell. We're only 3 short, mind. And we know exactly where they are. There's one up Amber Way, in that ruin that they call Lost Plume, and another in the Silent South, over in Dalmekia. Last one is in the ruins of Advent, which is in the Empire.
All right then. Wish me luck.
It'll do. I'll be keeping all my...
How was she? The Enterprise.
Where are you?
Can I help you, Sid?
I'm looking for Doris. Is she here?
I'm afraid not. She's at Martha's Rest on a job. My job, actually. When she heard what the mission was, she insisted on going herself. Alone.
Did she? What was the...
Following up on some new... Once they'd settled in, the bearers you helped liberate in the Dragon's Eyrie were keen to talk about their...
The slaver Cole's team were tracking when they were attacked by the Beastmen. I'll go and find her.
If she's not moved on already, yes. I hope...
Why would Doris insist on going alone? Maybe Cole was right to be worried.
Heard the bad news then, did you?
What bad news?
About Dravost. Blackthorn's old haunt. Well, anyway, the mines just down the road from there are spewing out ether like no one's business.
And the village?
Safe from the flood for now, but they've got other problems. Akashic. Every creature in the area is either turned or on the way to turning. Zoltan and the others are living on borrowed time. Doris sent a few curse breakers to keep an eye on things, but there's only so much a couple of scouts can do. So if something ain't done soon...
I won't let that happen.
Didn't think you would.
Does Blackthorn know?
I thought it might be better if he didn't. You reckon we should tell him?
No. It's better this way.
Yeah, well... I can't stand about knowing what's happening out there, so I'm off. I'll see you in...
Damn it. The whole village has turned. Stay down! Let's go. Faster! Time to fight. I'll need to deal with these ones first. I needed that. Too slow. Nice try. To find this spherical echo. This is it. Right then. Just two more to find. Doris should be somewhere nearby. Assuming she's still here.
The world seems to be changing so fast lately I can hardly keep up. But what I do know is that there's more bad news than good.
It's been a pleasure, Doris. Just like old times.
I'll give your offer some thought, my lady.
How goes the investigation?
Sid, what brings you to Martha's Rest?
You. I heard you were out here on your own, tracking our slaver. I trust you're being careful.
Of course. And it had to be me. The bearers from the Dragon's Eyrie confirmed a long-held suspicion of mine. She's no fool. If we'd come in force, she would have spotted us straight.
That was her just now, wasn't it?
I'd say so. She tried to recruit me. Seems her time in Rosaria is coming to an end. She's abducted bearers from across the region and is looking to smuggle them back into South. After her brush with those beastmen on the road to Northreach, she hired herself an Imperial escort. Which she wants me to She's dangerous, Sid, but...
Then I'm going with you. I'll take care of the escort. You can see the bearers to safety. Where are they?
The Baum Archers, soon to break camp. You go on ahead. I'll follow once I've sent word back to the hideaway.
Ah, Clive. I was just about... I'd like you to take something to Sir Wade up in Eastpool. Seeds for planting. Thought it was about time they started. I'll keep providing them with whatever they need in the meantime. But if Eastpool's going to survive, it's as of those poor bearers. They've lived their whole lives in servitude. Small wonder they ain't got the foggiest out to provide for themselves. So if you're wondering why you, well, the Wagoneers taking supplies up that way have been coming back with more and more reports. Sir Wade's putting a brave face on it. But I think even he's starting to worry. And if he's likely to...
All right.
Thanks. Wouldn't ask if I didn't have to. There. That should be enough to keep him in Gazal Greens for a few years at...
Gizal Greens.
Not the most mouth-watering crop, I'll admit. But they're hardy. Better that than something that'll wither away at first frost. And chocobos love 'em too, which is no small thing. When I say all of us, they ain't exactly succulent, but cook 'em right and they're just about bearable.
I'll take your word for it.
Anyway, Sir Wade'll know what to do with them. I'll go up there and show him my...
I'm sure you will.
I'll build a barricade so sturdy, even the bandit.
Come on. Yeah! Can hardly make it up, plummet. That'll do, girl.
Ah, what brings you to...
A delivery.
These are Gazal green seeds. Martha's keen to cut the apron strings then, is she? I jest, of course. You see, but they'd long since gone to seed. Only,
Martha was hoping he might be able to show the bearers how to plant and tend so that they'll be able to fend for themselves.
that's not a bad idea. These bearers had only recently escaped their bonds before we brought them here. They know little of freedom, of providing for themselves. Unless we teach them how to live like free men, I fear that all we have achieved in bringing them here is to exchange one master for another. Not that myself and the Guardians have been the best example to them so far, subsisting almost entirely on Martha's charity as we do. It's about time we all started to provide for ourselves. Unfortunately, we've been a little too busy of late to focus on much besides...
The Horde is closing it. They're coming, so wait, all of them.
Damn it all. I thought we'd have more. Gather the men in the square. Send to the rest for reinforcements.
Yes, Sir Wade.
The Horde.
A Kashek, a veritable legion of them. They've been seen prowling around the northern reaches for a while now. We don't have the numbers to hold back a swarm that size. I had hoped to build a perimeter wall so that...
Now you're out of time.
Precisely. If reinforcements from the rest arrive before they do,
What if you could call on reinforcements from east?
You mean the bearers? We brought them here so they might...
So wait. You said you lack men to defend the village. And though they may not be trained soldiers like your Guardians, what help they are able to offer could
You're right, I will... My friends, I humbly beg your aid. We Guardians are few and our enemies many. But I swear we can defeat them with you at our side.
You would send us to the slaughter. To serve as bait for those fiends so that you and your men might be spared. And to think we trusted you. Say what you will. A home is not worth dying for.
But it is worth fighting for. Sir Wade fights to give you lot a chance. Just like I do. Just like Sid does. We all wanted to give you a home where you could be free. And you got one, didn't you? This place, Eastpool. This is your village. Your home. And if you don't fight to protect what's yours, you'll lose it. You know I'm right. This world wants to take everything from you. Everything. Your homes, your freedom, your very lives. So then, are you going to stand by and let that happen to you? Are you going to accept fate like good little Bran did and die, having never stood up for yourselves? Or will you fight like free men and women?
What are you doing?
All right. Give me a sword. I never dreamt I'd have a home of my own. And now that I have, I don't want to lose it. I will protect what's mine, or die trying.
We all will. Free men and women, fighting together. For Eastpool! For Eastpool! Thank you, Martha.
Don't mention it. Just promise me one thing. That you'll show them how freeborn fight.
Gladly.
Well, if it was numbers you were lacking, you certainly won't be now.
Thanks to you.
Me? Oh, I just love the sound of my own voice.
Lord Rossfield, my lady, we're ready.
So what's the plan of action?
We'll divide our forces into several small detachments, each made up of guardians, bearers, and guards from the rest. These will position themselves at strategic points. Upon engaging with the Akashic, each detachment will keep the creatures occupied as best they can.
You're going to lure them into the village?
I am. We will have neither the time nor the resources to treat the wounded, so injuries must be avoided at all costs. Instead, by coordinating our withdrawal through the use of messengers drawn from among the bearers, we will aim to have the swarm converge at a point. With luck, that point will be the village square. The perfect place for our and for you and I to finish.
A sound plan, but one that'll require a leader with a cool head and strong nerve. I'd say you have both in abundance, Await. Please, leave the last of the fighting to me.
Ha! And let you...
Sir Wade!
Then you know what you must do. We work together, each shielding the other that no man might fall. For Rosaria.
For Rosaria!
We've no time to argue, my lord. I'll do as you are.
And I will do as you are.
Suppose we'd better do our bit too then, eh?
Right you are.
The calm before the storm. And here it comes. I will not let this village fall. Farewell. This one. Looks like that's the last of them.
Lord Rossfield!
What is it?
Owl from the rest. An Akashic curl's been sighted on Rhiannon's ride and is headed in their direction.
Well, the better half of her guard is here. So wait, how many Akashic...
Hard to say. My men are still facing some resistance. I could order a detachment.
No. You stay here too, Sir Wade. I'll go after the curl. Join me only when Eastpool is won.
If you're sure. May the Founder protect you.
Something to tell me an Akashic curl's heading towards the west? Get yourself down there. We can handle things here.
I can roast the bastards.
All right.
That's better. Time to fight. There it is. With me, Torgal. Nice try. Give me! All right. Back to Eastpool.
Lord Rossfield,
It's dead.
thank the Founder for that. We were able to eradicate the... I have guardians posted around the village to keep watch for further... I hesitate to say it, but...
I think it might.
We saved East... Thank you, my friend.
No, Sir Wade. It's us who should... You brought us together. Showed us what it means to fight for what you...
We never had nothing to call our own before. But now we do.
Forgive us, Sir Wade. But there's no doubt in my mind we're free men now. So we have to fight to protect what's ours.
And we shall. We all shall. This is our home. And if anyone or...
They'll have us to answer to.
Come on then.
This village isn't gonna rebuild...
They're not slaves anymore.
No. They're Rosette. Your father took pity on the bearers, and I believe if he was still with us today...
I believe you might be right.
I shall remain here, my lord. And do, after all, this is my home now too. And I could hardly call myself an Eastpoolian if I didn't pull...
I think you'll find it's East Pudlian, Sir Wade. But you should be proud all the same. I'll have to pull my weight too. Can't have the rest. Speaking of which, I ought to be getting...
Can we continue to count on your support, Ma?
Of course. And I'd be counting on us Rosarians have got to...
Indeed we have.
And Clive, come by the Golden Stables when you get the chance. I ain't paid you for delivering them seeds yet.
All right.
Lord Rossfield, do you remember our very first mission together? Clearing the goblins from the Stillwind Marshes?
How could I forget?
There's one sight that I shall never forget. You, facing off against that giant Morble. Not a trace of fear on your face. Since that day, there have been more than a few times when I felt like giving up. When the odds seemed so stacked in the enemy's favor, I thought I may as well just lay down my sword and surrender. But every time, I would think back to the look in your eyes that day and remember what it means to be a shield. Know that whatever trials Eastpool may face, I shall never lose courage. Thanks to you.
So Wade, you have always been a true shield. I know that Eastpool, and indeed all of Rosaria, will be safe in your hands.
Thank you, my lord. I know the rest of the world will be safe in yours.
I'll do my best.
The hero? It's lucky you came by when you did. Not only did my seeds get delivered, but you went...
I just did what I could.
And it's only right that you get rewarded. Take it before...
Thank you, Martha.
So, Eastpool's finally back on its feet again. A home to free bearers. Who'd have thought we'd see the day, eh?
Well, it was your idea.
I know that, but I never stopped to think what it would mean. Bearers in charge of themselves, thinking for themselves, working for themselves. Like your hideaway, but not even him. Though I suppose the rest ain't much different nowadays. You know, bearers living free like that reminds me of when I first, loath as I am to recall that particular day.
I take it you didn't always see eye to eye. What happened?
Well, if you really want to know, I started doing what I do long before I met Sid. In fact, that's how I met him. Or at least how he came to meet me. He showed up at the stables one day, asking questions about who'd been buying up bearers. Founder knows what he thought I was doing with them. Running a hunt, poking around in their innards. Something awful anyway. Me, I thought he was a new constable. Thought the game was up. But somehow we both managed to work out what each other was about. And before I knew it, the cheeky arse was rattling on at me about how I was doing it all wrong. After all my hard work. Told me I was giving them relief, but not freedom. That my bearers were still dying as slaves. Got right under my skin, it did. Told him if he didn't like it, he could bugger off and report me to the garrison. And do you know what he did? He smiled. And then he laughed. And then I did the same. We made a pact that day, that whenever one of us was in need, the other would always be there for him.
And you were?
Well, we both wanted the same thing. To make life better for bearers. Just like your dad. Do you know I was born right around the time Elwyn became Archduke? Growing up, I saw how he tried to change things. He certainly didn't lack for ambition, that one.
Indeed. But the loftier one's ambitions, the harder they are to achieve. Which is why those of us who follow in their footsteps need to finish what people like Sid and my father started.
Suppose you're right, aye. And if we don't manage it, there's always them who come after us. Good thing we've got a few half-decent sorts waiting in the wings, eh? It's almost enough to give you a little bit of hope. Anyway, enough nattering. Better get back to work. Let's see about making everyone some dinner, shall we? The least the folks who saved Eastpool deserve is a hot meal. And you and me ain't gonna save the world on an empty stomach night.
That sounds like a wonderful idea.
How do? Thanks very much. There you go. Much obliged. That all, is it?
Fly, Ambrosia. Good. They haven't broken camp yet. How did Doris come to know a slaver, I wonder?
We've waited long enough. She's not coming. Ready the bearers. We're leaving.
Back to civilization, is it, Mom?
With all haste. Lest any of you lackwits start talking like these feckless bumpkins. I presume your men are ready. We've suffered too many delays as it is. Any more and I'll be docking your pay.
Yes, Mom.
Oh, but before you go, it appears we have company. Kill him.
You're welcome to try. So much for your escort.
You'll forgive me for not avenging my men. I'm not the swordswoman I used to be. I surrender. Do with me as you wish, Sid the Outlaw.
Sid!
Ah, Doris. You know, I always wondered where you'd vanished to. Casting your lot with this criminal of all people.
Better fighting for a cause than killing for coin. I'm sorry, Sid. I should have... This woman, my former master, once trained bearer children to be weapons in service of the highest bidder. She raised me like a daughter, and I did terrible things to earn her favor.
It wasn't all terrible. Surely. We had our fun, too. You were always so eager to learn, and had such clever hands. All my other children took either to the blade or to the books. Always either or. But you proved yourself a master of both. That's why I kept you for my own. How about it, my little dagger? Care to swear that blade to me again?
I never swore my blade to you, nor will I ever. I fight for a higher cause, to liberate the bearers of this world. Farewell, Master. Thank you for making me the weapon I am.
You always were a righteous child. Perhaps that's the reason I loved you so.
What do you want to do with her?
I am not the killer she wanted me to be, and she no longer has friends in high places. The Dame does, though. Her connections at the Imperial Court will see that justice is done.
All right. If you're so...
I am. And thank you for everything.
Then I should head back to the hideaway and put Cole's mind.
Welcome back, Sid. Doris's message just arrived. I hear you saved more bearers from being smuggled.
With any luck, they'll be joining us in the hideaway shortly. Oh, and your letter. You don't need to worry about Doris.
I'd been hoping as much. She mentioned one or two. So the slaver we'd been chasing all these months was her former master. She's been arrested, by the way, over in Sambrek. She won't be getting off lightly. The Empire may have no love for bearers, but it's none too fond of black market traders either. Can't have been easy for Doris.
I'm sure it wasn't.
I hope so. You had quite the past yourself before you came here, or so I understand. Anyway, thanks again, Sid. The Cursebreakers would be lost without Doris. And
keep up the good work, Cole.
The Dominion's all but done for.
That's what I heard.
Then it's lucky we stayed here.
Was that shouting I heard from the barrels?
And you're just gonna fall into line? What else can I do?
I don't trust this Duke. If we're not careful, we'll undo all the Dame's hard work.
Oh, Clive, my wards and I may soon be...
What's happened?
The High Cardinal has descended from his lofty throne and taken up...
The High Cardinal?
Leader of the Council of Elders, second only to his Radiance at the head of the Imperial government. Not that any of those things still exist. Now he goes by his noble title.
And what does he want with Northreach?
He wants to transform it into a military strong... a foundation upon which to build a new Sambrek. He's already secured the support of the various army remnants, with promises that they shall be afforded the respect they deserve in his empire.
He would rob the populace to pay for it.
Believe me, I have used every means of persuasion to discourage him from...
What does Captain Philippe make of this? When the town was under attack, it was him the soldiers rallied around. Couldn't he...
How? By speaking out against one of the most... A man whose stated aim is to revive the empire Philippe's comrades swore to serve. The captain can offer them a regular supply of gruel and an occasional trip to the Vale to help them forget the terrors they face each day. The Duke... No. Any attempt to incite mutiny would cost Philippe the support of his men. But given the mood around town, mutiny may yet be unavoidable.
The people have little.
Who could blame them?
Clive, would you appeal to the Duke for your services to Northreach? You have the respect of the soldiers, and they will take you to it. And unlike Philippe, no bonds of loyalty prevent you from... Well?
I'll see what I can do.
Thank you, Clive.
Tell me then, where will I find this Duke in the garrison?
Overseeing the troops.
All right. Wish me luck. I may have met this Duke before, at the Remembrance ceremony. Let's hope I didn't make a strong impression.
It's not only control of the garrison he wants. We already have a leader in the Dane.
Halt! Oh, sorry about that. You're the dame's man, aren't you? You got some business with the captain?
No, actually. With the Duke. I was hoping I might be able to speak with him.
We're under orders not to let any civilians pass. But you should be all right. His Eminence has heard all about you. Wait here. I'll go and ask.
So, you are the sellsword who lent his aid, and I shall see it. But tell me, is it...
Neither, Your Eminence. I thought only to inquire about your plan to turn Northreach into a stronghold.
Ah, I see. You are worried the expanded garrison will rent, yet you needn't be. A proud fighting pride of place, in fact. For too long has the but no more. For it is they who shall see the Holy Empire rebuilt.
Why here, Your Eminence?
The town has been fortunate enough to escape largely unscathed from the recent trouble, which is more than can be said for Oriflamme or Twinside. The Empire wants for a capital, and I believe Northreach to... with Caer Norvent as her citadel. Once we have seen to the refortification of both the town and the we need only build a wall around both to create a city that would be the envy of the Twin. Plans are already soon enough. These thralls shall learn that they are...
I fear you underestimate how dangerous these creatures are, Your Eminence. Should they return in force, you will need all the people of Northreach to come together in defense of the town. Something they may be loath to do if they've been deprived of their worldly goods.
The people will do as their lead. If Sanbreque is to be rebuilt, one whose authority... That is why this left, so that any man who wishes to join the army might do so and be fed, outfitted, and paid as... And yet there are those who persist in peddling the treasonous lie that I seek to steal...
I suspect they're afraid of losing what little they have left.
Precisely. The common folk have little and less, and you mean to deprive them of even that. You would sow the seeds of your new empire in your own salted earth.
Sabine, we have discussed this.
Yes, and I told you then how putting the empire before her citizens would lead only to revolt.
Without an empire, there are no citizens.
And in yours, there will be only beggars. Is that what Griga wills for her people?
Do not take her name in vain, Sabine.
I'll come back later. The citizens revolt. I wonder what the people really think of the Duke's plan. It wouldn't hurt to ask them, I suppose. Let's begin with those on the other side of the wall.
Do you think he was the only one who survived?
He's the only one who came.
Was that shouting I heard from the barracks?
Could be true.
All right there.
Just your opinion, I wondered what you thought of the Duke of Orif.
Not much. None of us trade. It's thanks to nobles like him that we had to set up shop this side of the wall in the first place. Couldn't have the rabble getting any closer to the holy capital, could they? And now he's trying to drive us out completely, threatening to take everything we got from us if we don't clear off. If the dame said she wanted him run out of town, I'd be straight through that checkpoint, tar bucket in hand.
That so-called Duke is asking too much.
Half of what comes in is barely fit for pressing, let alone eating.
Sell anything today?
As much as you. Oh, wait.
I've been hearing a lot of talk about a certain Duke.
Nothing good. Going around acting like he owns the place. And with hardly a word to the dame. This is her town, not his.
I take it you'd rather she was in charge.
As far as I'm concerned, she still is. Just need his eminence to sod off back to Oriflamme.
The garrison salvaged what they could from
A question, if you don't. What do you think of the Duke of Oriflamme?
Don't get me started. You build a life for yourself somewhere, earning for some noble to turn up and tell you you've got to hand it all over. If he thinks his name and his chains give him the right to enter, we'll do whatever it takes. Whatever it takes.
Well, the people seem united enough. What about the soldiers?
Don't you think you'd be lying under a pile of rubble in twins?
And you're just gonna fall into line.
What else can I do?
Excuse me, do you have a moment? I wondered if you'd mind sharing your thoughts on the Duke of Oriflamme.
Well, I mean, look around us. The traders might not like having the screws put on them, but if they volunteered a few more of their hard-earned gil before things, I think the Duke's got a point when he says rebuilding the Empire is the best way of making... And if that means people who don't know one end of a sword from another have to make way for those who do, well...
It's not only control of the garrison he wants, it's the whole...
We already have a leader in the Dame.
One at a time now. Is enough for it?
You're the one who's talking to his eminence.
On the Dame's behalf, yes. I was trying to persuade him not to take the people's goodwill for granted. What do you think of his plan?
I'm a soldier, mate. Listen, I've got nothing but respect for the Dame. That's where my loyalties lie. Not with the town or the Empire. But if the Duke can get us the men and the equipment we need to fight off those blue...
Sabine, you are embarrassing me.
You're embarrassing yourself.
I hear the Duke of Oriflamme plans to turn this town into... Do you think that's a good idea?
It's not for me to... All I know is that unless the Emperor orders me otherwise, His Eminence's word is law. Look, no one likes all these taxes and tariffs, but once Sanbreque is back on her feet, we'll all reap...
Let's see what Philippe makes of all this.
A whole day.
Welcome back. Wraiths give you any trouble?
Just stay input for now.
Captain.
For you? Certainly. Clive, wasn't it? Thank you for last time. How can I help you?
I wanted to ask you about the Duke of Oriflamme. Do you intend to go along with his plan?
To tell you the truth, I'm in two minds. It's my sworn duty as a captain of the Imperial Army.
Philippe, I remember you saying that you became a soldier to protect the people.
That's right. I did.
Well, she doesn't agree with the Duke's orders either.
And she's probably right. Thank you, Clive. Protecting the people I love is what matters. Well, duty calls. So thanks again.
It seems Philippe wants to do the right thing at least. I expect Isabel will be pleased to hear that, if nothing else.
Ah, Clive. Were you able to speak with the...
I was.
Well, it will certainly help to hold back, though I doubt it will come as much consolation to the townspeople whose worldly goods are confiscated. They deserve to be heard, Clive. To have a say in this new empire the Duke...
Sadly, His Eminence values their obedience more than their opinions. And hopes... I fear he sees the people as mere pawns on his chessboard to be sacrificed for them. Needless to say, they themselves are of a different opinion, and would rather their destinies were... Soldiers, meanwhile, are content to follow their orders. And not just because of the Duke's rank.
I thought as much. Had I sworn to protect Sambrek, I dare say I too would want nothing more than to see it rise from the ashes. Thank you for trying.
I don't know about that.
What happened to your uniform?
I handed it in, along with my resignation. Told the lads I wished them well, but that I owe it to those I love to call it a day.
But why?
Because I realize what really matters to me. Not following some nobleman's orders for the sake of it, but protecting what I care about, protecting Northreach. I honestly don't know when those monsters will return, but I'm certain they're not finished with us yet. And when they do come back, we need to be ready for them. We need to stand together, all of us. And with you to lead us, milady, I reckon we can do it. It was you who finally convinced me, Clive. There's no point following orders if they go against everything you believe.
Indeed.
All of us, standing together. That has always been Northreach's best hope. And we have only to turn our attentions to the true enemy. Thank you, Philippe, for showing...
Anything for you. Speaking of standing together, would you mind if I borrowed a few of the lads from the Vale to help keep watch around? I fear His Eminence has loftier tasks in mind for the guard.
Not at all.
Wouldn't be the first time.
There may be hope for Northreach yet, especially with men like you and Philippe to champion our cause. I, for my part, shall continue to work upon the Duke, in the stubborn belief that... But I suspect I shall have to call upon your aid again. Until then, Clive.
Until then...
Your town needs you. I need you. But the Duke would have me clapped in irons.
Saw the captain just now. Wasn't wearing his uniform.
Because he handed it in along with his sword. Said he'd find a better way to protect the town.
I would speak with this Duke about the demands he's made of me and my fellow traders.
Yeah? And why would he want to speak with you? Now, piss off.
What does the dame have to say about all this?
I swore to protect this town and the people I love. I don't need a uniform to do that.
You all right, boy?
Ready, go?
Yeah! Whoa. Enough of you, are there? Two down, one to go.
Faster!
That's all of them. Oh, I can. So Dravost is still standing. For now, at least.
If you can swing a hammer, you can swing.
Clive!
And the Akashic?
Mostly off to the north still. But I spoke to Doris's scouts and it turns out things are worse than I thought. There's swarms of them out there. Told old Snotty to be ready to seal the north gate. That should buy us some time. Enough for the villagers to barricade themselves inside their homes at—
Well done.
Welcome back. I'd never have guessed, you know. Not even who'd have thought that the savior of Dravost would turn out to be the realm's most infamous out. Keen to help us out again?
I am.
Thought you could sneak off without me, did you?
Blackthorn.
Oh, what are you doing here?
One of the scouts couldn't keep his voice down, unlike my best mate who didn't think I deserved to know. Zoldan, long enough for us two to turn into a pair of old codgers, I see.
That your idea of an apology?
Don't listen to him. You only did what you thought was best.
But that ain't the whole of it. Vulcan, our master, he left it to me. The best blacksmith. Bloody stupid tradition, in my opinion. If someone's got talent, you should let them practice their craft, not ask them to settle petty feud. Our master wasted half his life that way. I wasn't about to let that happen.
So you wasted half of mine.
You're what Dravost needed. Under me and my precious ideals, this place wouldn't have lasted a year. So I left to devote myself to the work and spare you lot. I may be a selfish prick.
What you had to do was your—
Even if it meant we all starved?
Enough. You can finish beating each other up once Dravost is safe.
Fine. I've said my piece anyway.
Yeah.
Sorry, Clive. Short enough on time as it is. Still, give us a mo, would you? I need to get my head straight before any of them Akashic try. You,
We can't afford to waste any—
Right you are. Might be worth having one last word with the scouts. Don't want any nasty surprises. Oh, and Blackthorn.
Akashic on the move.
How close are they?
Within sight of the walls, and there are more coming up.
What was that?
They'll wash right over us if we stay out in the open.
Good idea. Get yourselves inside, but keep your weapons handy.
Understood.
I'm prepared to fight if I—
Well, let's hope you don't. Once the scouts are inside, order your men to barricade the gates. No heroic last stands, you hear me? No fighting.
August's right. I've seen what Akashic— The people here are tough and willing, but they ain't equipped.
I'm going out there. Start work on the gate as soon as I've left. I'll give you—
And if they kill you?
You evacuate, and it won't come to that. Take good care of Dravost.
Leave it to me, and give those things what for.
All right. Which one of you's first? Too slow. Stay down. Certainly not. Not getting past me. Nice try. Thanks, boy. To me, boy. Nice try. Now, the question is, did I miss any?
Man alive! You're still in one piece?
I slew as many as I could.
As many as I could, he says. The old bleeding lot, more like it.
Only almost.
Yeah, one or two did try to sneak over the wall, but we got the bastard.
Good. Oh, you do know?
In time, yeah. But we can think about them later.
Sid! Enough to give those Akashic monsters nightmares. I almost felt sorry, but mostly, I felt...
I'm afraid I've only delayed the inevitable. There's no getting rid of that ether flood, meaning that any living thing which stumbles into those mines will end up clawing at your walls again.
And that's if the flood don't spread. I hate to say it, but the village's days are numbered.
That may be, but with ether floods springing up all over, it's no less safe than anywhere, and more importantly, we'll fortify the gates to the north, and I'll see that they're guarded day and night.
All right. Then we'll give you a hand shoring up those defenses.
As for you, Blackthorn, that's twice you've turned up when Dravos needed you, so...
I shouldn't have stayed away so long. And I shouldn't have left with it.
Too bloody right you shouldn't. Though I doubt I'd have listened. I always envied you. How you made it. You leaving gave me the perfect excuse to hate you. And from that day on, I never once stopped to wonder what it would have been like if you'd stayed. You'd have been the death of this place.
Finally, something we can agree on. I hope you see the sense of it eventually. You can...
Alive, perhaps. Wealthy even, but our work used to be the pride of Dalmec. Now, we churn out the same rubbish day after day. It's not about the craft anymore. I wouldn't send my sons to war wearing the shit most of our smiths are making. I've kept working, honing my skills, trying to lead by example. The average castle apprentice has as much passion for the craft as our current lot. Come back to us, Blackthorn. I'll even man those bellows of yours if it means we can work at the same forge again.
That's a kind offer. Kinder than I deserve. There's people who trust their lives to my steel, and I daren't let them down.
Fair enough.
But that doesn't mean I couldn't visit from time to time. Let's see if we can't rekindle this town's passion for the craft, shall we?
I'd like that.
Just be sure to tell Snotty to let me in the next time I come calling, yeah?
Knowing him, he'd let you in anyway. Blackthorn. The Master Smith turned outlaw, back in my good graces. I never thought I'd see the day.
I'd say that went pretty well, wouldn't you?
Even better than I'd hoped.
Sid, I've got something for you.
And this is?
A token of our lasting gratitude. But I'm of a mind to make you a far. Designs for a certain sword have been passed down from chief to chief for generations.
Now hold on, Zoltan. There's a reason no one's made that blade in centuries. There's not been a cross. I'll admit your cinders make impressive steel. And I've learned to hone an edge. Odin will be put the engravings on that thing are enough to make a jeweler cry, and they're not just for show.
Have you forgotten what brought you back to Dravos in the first? I knew I'd never surpass you with the hammer and tongs. It's between the two of us. I'd say we're the...
Clive, you wouldn't mind if Zoltan...
As long as he can keep us.
Right. Zoltan, get your tools.
The beast was charging at...
Take that, you naughty thief!
Clive! To what do I owe the pleasure?
I just wanted to see how the town's been faring since you brought everyone together.
Since we? All is absolutely wonderful. Conrad and Natalie's hands and firmly at the helm. Our stores are full, and just as the good Lady Jane and Lord...
Are you a lord?
Lubor's going to be one too. They're going to make him the Lord of Dalamil. Because of how he stopped.
It's the mayor of Dalamil, dear child. And the vote, but if the people wish me to lead them, I shall. And my first act will be to build a Speaking of menace, there may be a rather worrying one just over the horizon.
May there indeed.
I'm afraid the example Conrad and Natalie set in putting aside their differences and presenting a unite, and they might have they have formed what one could call, and they grow more organized.
We'll fight them all off just like last time, won't we, Lubor?
Of course we will. If we continue to, the longer we avoid facing this one, the more difficult it will be. Our best hope is to nip by finding those ne'er-do-wells who have yet to join the corps. Perhaps a certain Lord Underhill might be willing to lend.
How could I refuse?
Thank you, my lord. Victor will fill you in on the I have him stationed by the desert gate, receiving and collating reports from my scouts. Such an
I'll go and speak with him.
What's the difference between the Lord
A League of Outlaws. Sounds like we have some competition. Still in Dalamil, Vic?
Ah, Sid.
I thought you'd have returned to Cost.
I did. I've developed something of a and having worked so hard to see it saved from one fate, a sentiment Master Lubor certainly isn't shy about exploiting.
You're not the only one.
What does he want?
He asked for my aid in putting down the and he said that you might be able to help me find.
Then you've come at just the right time. I was on my... There are more camps in the vicinity than we can safely... But we must strike together, and we must strike soon, at as many camps as we can.
All right. Which camp shall...
There's one upriver. Just out there, across...
Leave it with me.
If those ne'er-do-wells want to band together, there'll be no match.
Come on. That must be the camp Victor mentioned. Come on then, Toggle.
That's him! The one who killed Locke and Fingers! Take his head off!
I'd better let Victor know.
Sid. Ah, I see the bandits didn't pose you any trouble.
No, but...
No.
What is it?
The whole town's in saying that Lubor...
What?
Seems that one of our parties wasn't as thorough as they should have been. They let one of the bandits escape. And his escape, some of the children spotted him, and he was about... And when Lubor felled him, without a crystal.
But that's not possible.
It is, if he's a bearer and has been hiding it all these years. Which if he has, well, I wouldn't blame him. Still, all those people see is a man who's lied to them all his life. One who was made a leader of himself when the world believed he should have. Fuck. I don't know where we go from here, but I know one thing.
You're right.
And now everyone knows. I made it a habit to keep a crystal close at hand for just such an occasion. And when that occasion arose, I forgot to reach for it. Well, it was bound to come out sooner or later.
We're sorry, Lubor. We tried to keep running, but we just couldn't anymore.
There's nothing to be sorry for. I rather enjoyed playing the hero for once. All that matters to me is that you two are safe.
Look at him talking to his betters like it's nothing.
All lies, I'll wager. Just like the ones he fed us all these years.
Once people make up their minds, it's hard to change them. We need to do something, and quickly. Convince the people not to let their prejudices blind them. Convince them that nothing has changed.
You're right.
I'm glad you agree. I'm a Dalmec born and bred. They listen to me. You head to the tavern. Make Conrad and Natalie remember who Lubor really is. They know that Lubor and I are friends. I might not make for Lord Underhill of Randalar's League of Merchants, however, is a trusted and impartial mediator of note.
I'll do what I can. Lubor, I can't promise anything, but...
And that is all I can...
Why are you taking the bearer's side, Victor? Are you one too?
You know I'm not. Just listen.
Why do they always have to make such a fuss outside? It's driving away our customers.
He knew all along that he was playing us for fools.
And we fell for it. We followed him. A bearer.
Forgive me for disturbing you, but...
As have I. Lord Underhill, wasn't it?
That's right.
The rumors that he's a...
He'll never be mayor now. Not if I have anything to do with it.
But what of his wares? Bearer or no, his steel... In this at least, he's done the town a service.
Leniency? He pretended to be one of us!
I'm sorry, my lord, but he lied to us. He lied...
So what do you propose? Will he...
Perhaps. And they will thank you not to get involved.
The townsfolk have made their minds up. There was nothing I could do.
Nor I. Conrad and Natalie refused to consider anything but their own wounded pride.
You never know. Once their anger is cooled, they might see things differently.
All right.
Why the hell would Victor take the bearer's side?
For a share in Lubor's ill-gotten guilt, perhaps.
I assume this is...
There's still hope. But...
But perhaps not in this lifetime. I think it's fair to...
You mustn't think like that, Lubor. We'll talk some sense into them.
No. And your efforts would be better...
But Lubor...
Rosina would often tell me that steel does not lie, that a blade is a reflection of the smith who forged it. To yourself be true, that was her point. Rather an ironic one when you consider that her life was taken with a blade of her own making. But I do not doubt that she was always true to herself and what she believed in, right to the end. And so must I be. I must do what I know to be right, no matter what. And now, I know what that is. I must embrace my new role of villain so that the people of Dalamil have something to unite against. For only united can they hope to stand against... I'll need to make a suitably dramatic
Don't go, Lubor. You're the only one who was ever kind to us. We'll be all alone.
Trust me, little ones. It is for the best that I go.
How could it possibly be for the best? The least you can do is give the townspeople a chance to change their minds.
They would not take it, Victor.
Over, you say? And so just like that, you're going to throw this town? And I thought you were better than this. But it seems you had me for...
Victor.
Forget it.
You sure you're making the right choice, Lubor?
Of those available to me, but where are my manners? Here. Right then. My pack...
If there's anything I can do...
There...
Lord Rossfield, is there aught the...
Perhaps. My brother said that your order... Have you learned anything of note?
Little unless, I
see.
Be assured, however, that we will, even now, our archaeologians scour ruins in every corner of...
Fallen ruins, I take it. Dating back as far as Phoenix...
Indeed. Ultima's thralls are oft sighted among the remnants of the fall, as if protecting the secret.
Secrets we'd see.
Should our methods be of... Mayhap it would please you to observe some of our...
Would that be possible?
Of course. Perchance you are familiar with Kretov. I was due to visit my colleagues there to collect their preliminary... If you would consent to do so in my stead, I'm sure that they would be honored.
All right. I'll go and meet with them.
They will be most... Might I suggest you take the road through Titans? It will lead you straight to the village, after but a short...
Thank you.
I wish you a safe journey, my lord.
A village built around an airship. Sounds like another lost wing. I hope the inhabitants are just as friendly. Time to fight. Let's go. This might take a while. Too slow. Come on. Faster! Thanks, Cal. Ready, go? Run like the wind. Bet we're all ready. Oh no. You'll pay for this. Based on this violence. Whatever that thing is, I'd say it's their leader. Too slow. Let's try. Should have stayed in the past. These must be Cyril's colleagues.
You have our thanks, stranger.
Who are you?
Ah, forgive me, my lord. I did not recognize you. You are Lord Rosfield, are you not? We are archaeologians, tasked with surveying this site. When the echoes appeared, our brothers here occupied their attentions. Thanks to them, and to you, we were, for a mercy, able to see our duty to its conclusion.
You call that a mercy? Your brothers might still be alive if you put their safety before your duty. Surely this survey wasn't worth dying for.
We are charged with uncovering Ultima's origins. A duty of the highest import, as I'm sure you will agree.
And you think your dead brothers would agree with you too?
I know they would. They gave their lives for the cause, an honor to which all now. To what do we owe the honor?
Cyril told me of your work here, and I agreed to collect your findings in his...
I see. That is most kind. May the Firebird's flame burn ever in your heart, as it...
It's one thing to lay down your life for another, but for a survey... I suppose I'd better get this back to Cyril.
Ah.
Here.
My thanks. I shall study them, and inform you forthwith if I discover...
Cyril. Losses which could have been avoided. Had the others not chosen to complete that, were these your order?
No. Every Undying devotes his life to the service of the Phoenix. It is
even when death is of...
My lord, I fear that this is not a point over which it would be fruitful. The Undying have served the Phoenix for countless generations. And your opinion of our methods, we live to serve the Phoenix.
Cyril. I know that you would allow me to offer you a word of advice. It does not further the cause of the Phoenix to have his loyal followers surrender their lives without good reason. Provide your survey parties with an escort, that they think not only of how you can serve the Phoenix, but how Joshua would want you to please.
I thank you, if you will permit me to respond. And we of the Undying will do what we believe as first shield to the Phoenix.
I do.
Then we are of the same mind.
Ah, Clive. You'll be pleased to...
That is good news.
Yes. Our comrade in Randala has just sent word. I still have much and more to prepare. It's a huge... You couldn't do me a quick favor.
What is it this time?
Nothing like that. I just need you to go over to the caravans and ask Elle how long we have until the... Find out exactly how much faster I need to get all these supplies.
All right.
Thanks, Clive.
Don't blame yourself, Elle. This is... I know, but no buts about...
Is something wrong?
Vonnie came to give me a message from our intermediate. The talks with the Republican Army have fallen. They've reached an agreement with the Silver Peak Consortium. Though prices have fallen of late, we deliberately offered above the going rate to try and deter. But the Consortium offered double what we did, and the Army jumped at them.
And you had no opportunity to make a...
None at all.
Elle? I saw Vonnie leaving.
And with good reason.
But I thought we were the only ones the Fist was speaking to about the bearer. How did the Consortium even find out?
It's not so surprising. This isn't over. The Consortium will have to sell these bearers eventually. And at the price they pay, I'm going to Randalar myself.
Alone?
Are you offering to be my... How kind. Meet me at the checkpoint near the Capitol gates. I'll send an owl ahead and request you go to Cashlock, Theo, and get everything ready. We've waited far too... Even if I fail to free these bearers, someone needs to prepare the place and keep any prowling beast...
Oh, and that's me. Well, it looks like I'm followed for meeting the Silver Peak Consortium. Who've been She'll never join them after this, surely. No, she said it herself. She still has plans for Cashlock, even if this one... She means to stay with us then. I can't say I'm not...
You have to trust her.
You're right. And if Elle's off fighting for the cause, I should do my... So I bid you farewell and safe... I'll gather my men and leave for Cashlock. We'll make sure the place... You go to Randalar and see if you can stop my sister biting the Consortium's heads off. If she won't consider her prospect...
I'll do my best. All right. To Randalar, then. And better not keep Eloise waiting.
What I wouldn't give for a hot meal.
When are they gonna let us through?
Come on. Fly, Ambrosia. I hope I didn't keep you waiting. You arranged to speak with the consul.
Here they are now.
You wish to consult with me?
I did. It's about the... We had all but finished making arrangements to buy the Marcel.
You misunderstand. The consortium had an interest in... It was only our regard for you that kept us from bidding. But your hesitancy in accepting our offer to you suggested that the regard was not mutual. And so we resumed our business.
I did not hesitate. I am simply not inclined to make such decisions without first giving them due consideration. But what is done is done. Come then.
Alas, you are too late yet. We rarely take on such unconventional merchandise without a purchaser in mind. The bearers belong to him now.
Who is your buyer?
A trader from across the water. A most demanding fellow, if it's any consolation. He insisted the bearers be fed, dressed, even given their own... That's what you get when you deal with continental type.
I wouldn't know.
Oh yes, the culture on the continent is quite different to ours. They pay good money for bearers not fit for the knacker's yard, and treat them like kings. But as long as...
That does sound... No matter then. If they've already left our shores, there's little that can be done. And with it, my interest in joining your organization.
My associates will be sorry to...
I'm sorry you weren't able to say.
As am I. But he was right. The Silver Peak Consortium did intend to buy those bearers before their representative hinted at a possible purchase when he came to recruit. I feigned interest in joining them in the hope he might be encouraged to tell me more. As soon as he left, I sent my own offer to Rand.
So you never...
No. I entertained the Consortium's proposal solely so I could learn more about those, but I was a fool to think they wouldn't find out. I knew exactly who I was
You tried.
I did. And if what he said was true, they deserved more. I wanted so badly to see them free.
Eloise! Eloise! Word from Cashlock. The village is under a pack of beasts have come down from the mountains, and there's Theo and the others are trying to hold them off as best they can, but they need help.
Theo!
I'll go on ahead.
Thank you, Clive. I'll gather some men and join you there. Just...
Hold on, Theo. Run like the wind. Back to the stables, girl. Where's Theodore?
Upriver!
He led the dragon that way to keep it from the village, but the whole area's flooded.
Just have to pray he makes it out in what...
I can do better than that. Good Ambrosia. Where are you, Theo? Damn it. It's too thick. These creatures have already turned. I can't waste any more time. I need to find Theodore before that dragon does. Looks like it's found me. This thing's turned as well. This isn't going to be easy. creatures have already turned. I can't waste any more time. I need to find Theodore before that dragon does. Looks like it's found me. This thing's turned as well. This isn't going to be easy. Theodore, you had me worried for... We have to get you out of here.
I think it might be a little too late for that. Bearer or no, there's only so much ether a man can take, and that Drake just wouldn't let me leave. You have my thanks, Sid, for finishing what I could not. For keeping Elle's dream.
Theodore!
Stop it!
land. And so will you!
Hell. Theodore.
Take care of my sister.
Theodore. Wait.
Goodbye. El.
Thank you, Clive. I think I'll be all right now.
That was true bravery he showed. Leading the dragon away from the village like that. His first instinct was always to protect people. To put others' well-being before his own.
And now he's gone. Because I sent him to that place, against his will.
It wasn't against his will. He was ready to do whatever it took to show you he could stand on his own. So that you would finally be free to live your own life.
To live my own life. He never could come to terms with the choice I made.
What exactly happened? You once told me Theo was the first bearer you ever helped.
We grew up in Canva. We were born to one of the great trading houses. And I was chosen to inherit the family business. I had my father's head for figures, you see. Theo did not. While I studied the art of commerce, he played at soldiers instead. A late bloomer. In more ways than one. For unlike most bearers, it wasn't until his 15th summer that his powers awakened. My parents tried to drive him out of the house and into the care of the constables. But before they could, I took him into mine.
Theo told me something else. He clearly admired your devotion to the cause of freeing others like him from slavery. But he said you deserved a better life than this. He wanted to free you from what he called your bonds, just as you freed him from his.
I would be lying if I said I had not wondered from time to time how much easier my life might have been if I had allowed Theo to be taken and devoted myself to the family business instead. But I have never regretted the decision I made. Being with my brother meant more to me than tradition or reputation. I only had to look at him to remind myself of that night and the choice I made and the fact that I would make the same choice again in a heartbeat. He was never a burden. How could he even think that? If anything, I was the one who weighed him down.
You weren't, Eloise. He said it himself, that he had always been grateful to you for saving him, and that he wanted to repay you by letting you live the life you were denied. Neither you nor Theo weighed each other down. You loved one another. You did whatever was necessary to continue living your lives together, and you always would have.
You're right. All I ever wanted all I ever did. It was so we could be together. Oh, Theo. Why did you have to... I know Theo wanted me to move on, but I'm staying here at the Crimson Caravans to continue our work. We can make a difference here. We can help people, save them. I need nothing more from life than that. So I'll carry on doing what we do, ensuring that goods, people, bearers get where they need to be, bringing smiles to people's faces just like we always have, and to Theo's. Wherever he is. This is the life I have chosen. The life I will...
I've made a choice of my own to continue helping you however I can.
Thank you, Clive. Let's go on together then. For Theodore. The Crimson Caravans is my family business now, and I would not exchange it for the world. I brought Theo here to be safe, and I have never looked back since.
Eloise isn't the type to give up. Maybe not. She'll still need our support. We're all going to have to look out for each other now.
Come back.
Oh, don't tell me we've run out of Papio nuts and all.
We were just about to make a start on that sword. It's funny, but none of this would... You remember Camille? We'll be using his leather work for the grip. The steel, meanwhile, will be tempered in a fire, burning the cinders you charmed out of old Zoltan here. And that whetstone from the Outer Isles, that'll be what gives the blade its edge. And the final flourish will be my talented colleagues' engraving.
A team effort led by the greatest black...
Now, save that talk till the thing's finished, yeah? Right.
To the bellows it is.
Well, bugger me. We actually did it.
The sword to end all swords. Ragnarok.
Thank you.
So, does this make you pair the greatest craft?
This? Nah. It'll take more than that to earn us our place, but we're up for the challenge. Here.
A list of materials.
Zoltan and I got talking on the long road back from Dravoist.
We reckon with those items there, we could craft something even better than the Ragnarok. Something...
That's a weapon I'd like to see.
I was hoping you'd say that.
One legend at a time, eh, lads? Before you start on the next...
Good idea. No more drinking to forget my past. It's about time.
Then tap the kegs! Vulcan's boys are on the...
What do I owe the honor? I never fought me and Zoltan, and if it hadn't been for you, we wouldn't. What's that for you, dear? That it? Fine.
Have you tried Molly's lemon tarts? I've never had anything so delicious.
Canva lost. It can't be true.
Miss, can we read Miss Editor's story for our lesson today?
What a wonderful idea, Jocelyn. Let's do just that.
How was she?
The Enterprise, I mean.
Ah, sir.
Good, thankful.
That's brilliant. I'll fit him to the smelter right. May I present the Telemon Furnace?
She's a beauty.
You saved my bacon again, Sid.
It's fine, really.
Oh, don't say that. I'm sure I can make a few.
You could just buy me a bigger...
How about that clasp? Looks a bit stiff. Reckon you could loosen it up and make... And I reckon I know how. With a new alloy we've been working on. It's a metal, see? So it's lovely and strong, but it's also...
Stretchy metal.
That is the spirit. So?
It's... Thank you, Owen.
Don't mention it. And I wanted to get some practice in using that metal anyway. Reckon we'll have all... Can't think of any right now, but... That's our job, and maybe even out there. One day, the whole world's gonna know about the inventions you've helped us put together. That bag of yours will be the...
They'll hardly believe they're right.
Don't tell me we've run out of Papio nuts and all.
Aye, it's a dangerous world out there. Best of them. Finished, are you?
back. Karen says she'll provide what she can for our voyage to Ash.
Covered in nicks and lumps, the lot of them. It's a wonder they can still walk.
How may I help you today, Clive? Come to claim your just desserts? You earned this.
All done?